Good evening, everyone. My name is Claudia Canizares. Well, actually, my name is Claudia Solandi Canizares Guerra. Now, why is her full name important? You may be asking. Well, in truth, for many years, I tried to shape myself into someone that was easily accepted by the world. But this meant denying who I was. I lived the first 8 years of my life in Cuba. I grew up playing soccer barefoot on the street, smelling freshly made coffee in every home, knowing literally everyone around me. When people say that Latinos call everyone they know family, they're not wrong. I was part of a familial world. Countless times, my mom or someone else in the neighborhood did not have a cup of sugar or some rice. And so they would yell on their porch out to one of the neighbors, asking if they had some. And without a doubt, there was always a reply yelled back, offering whatever they had, no matter how little they had for themselves. This was because everyone understood each other's struggle, and if they were going to make it, they had to do it together. I grew up thinking there was no better place to live. And while I have grown up, that view has shifted a bit, but I have not stopped seeing that as home. When I go back, it feels like a piece has been restored to my heart. The longing, it ceases for just a moment. It was not easy adapting to the US. It was lonely. There was a disconnection with this place that was supposed to be filled with dreams becoming realities. I went from school to school trying to find a place to belong. But it seemed as though no place wanted me. No place desired to put in the work and get to know me. So I started to change myself. This meant not speaking Spanish around most people and going by the name that would be less difficult for them to say. If I had to make some sacrifices, it would be okay because I would be happy, right? I would be who they would want me to be, but that was not who I was. My mom taught me from a young age to be proud of who I am and where I come from. That was difficult when people ridiculed and belittled who I was supposed to be proud of. My relationship with God became the last thing that I could think about. I did not want to confront what I was putting myself through, so I hid, even from God. I thought maybe if I didn't talk to him about it, then it actually wasn't that big of a problem. There was no trace left of me. I was a mere shell of a person. I did not like who that was. But by that point, I didn't know who I was. Because of this, God had basically become, he was just tuned out of my life. I could not feel him. I could not see him. I could not taste him. He was gone. I had pushed him away. Or so I thought. Then, Mrs. Parsons and some Pacifica students came to my middle school. They were these happy, loving people that brightened up the room the moment they entered. Turns out, not long after, I had been registered to take a test and interview at Pacifica. This was a little upsetting for me because my friends were going to other schools. I didn't want to start over again. It would be exhausting to do that. But after much discussion with my mom, she won. Who would have thought? So I went through the admissions process, and through that, I was gifted one of the most joyful moments in my life. Mrs. Parsons and Senora Lespier were in the student office waiting for my mom and I. Senora translated my interview, and Mrs. Parsons, she spoke in Spanish as well as she could. It made me realize that they did not just want to get to know me as the person I made others think I was. They wanted to know my heart. Something as simple as them talking in my native tongue. It reopened a door I thought had been shut for me. All of a sudden, and even though I was not nervous before, I was very nervous after. Because what if I didn't get in? Thankfully, I did. And coming here, it was the best decision I have made in my life. The first day of school, We were going around the room in our theater class, introducing ourselves. Then, one of my classmates, John Kratzberg, shared a fact about himself. He said that he was, and I quote, 50% Cuban. So I wait until it's my turn, and I look over at him and say, yeah, well, I'm 100% Cuban. There was so much pride in going through my veins in that moment. Who was that? I had not done something like that in such a long time. I had gained something back, and all I had done by that point was have an interview at the school. Something as minuscule as that instance had awakened something in me. And it was really not until this year, senior year, that I realized what that feeling was. It was home. Pacifica has been the greatest source of joy in my life for the past 4 years. And when I say Pacifica, I mean every student, faculty, staff, every class. Through them, I have learned to continue searching for the answer. Every discussion that we had sophomore and junior year with Reverend Butler began with asking, what does this mean? And it was always fascinating to hear how differently most of us defined various concepts such as love, life, faith. But it was crucial in order to realize that we all lead varying lives and are each unique. I want to go out into the world and ask those questions. Those that are not crowded by fleeting distractions, but grounded in truth. I want to listen to others. By listening to each other, we can grow and we can change the way we perceive the world, or even help someone else better shape how they view it themselves. I remember reading Dante's Inferno. We really got into the discussion of whether or not Dante really loved Beatrice, or if he loved the idea of her. This was captivating because it was a reminder of what I felt in regards to the world's perception of me. And here we were discussing it in a 14th century Italian poem. Discussions always have a way of carrying over. We always say, it's like it was planned. This place, it's something you must experience for yourself. And I hope you get a sense of it here tonight. I, along with your students, have been granted a blessing of lifelong friendships, not just with fellow peers, but also the faculty. Whether it's Mrs. Warren being another mom to all of us, or E. Ballmer shouting Canizares whenever he sees me, I know that the faculty is on my side. They have shown me how to love myself again. The feeling at the beginning of my Pacifica journey, and what I continue to feel to this day, even as I take my last steps on campus, that indescribable joy and love helped me to see and to remember that God was with me always, and he continues to be. So thank you to the school. You have shaped me to be a Pacifica person. Someone with the tools to ask the questions of the world and have the humility to work hard to achieve the answers. Someone who's not afraid of a challenge, but who faces it head on. What I have gained here will stay with me for the rest of my life. I'm thankful for the place that took me in and worked with me until I realized how special I was, by showing me how special I am to them. I have found out who I am. I don't need to hide anymore. I am seen, and I have once again seen God. I am Claudia Canizares Guerra. I am one of God's children. I am loved. And thanks to your love, your giving, your support, and your acceptance, I have tasted and seen God's goodness again. Thank you.